Cheers. Cheers. Hola. It is probably like 10:30 at night. Welcome to another episode of Burrowed Thoughts. And I'm your host, Lana. And we talk about fears on this podcast. And I wear a bunny hat while we do it. And this is my best friend, Yasmin. Hi. Yasmin is here because she's smart, she's beautiful, she's kind. I think we both have a lot to share, that things we just learned like about our friendship over the past 6 months, that I think a lot of other people can just be genuinely, a lot of other women. And you know what? I would say we're very intimidating to men as well.
We are.
I would say we're very we're probably equally as bad.
No, our friendship is something, and it came along so very unexpectedly, because I remember it was like just one day, I think it was me, I randomly texted you and over like a book.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, let's go and get drinks together. And like read while drinking. And then we did not read while drinking.
We just drank. we just drank.
And gossip. And
so
it was a very TMI gossip. I told you things about myself I do not usually tell people.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you.
Yeah, for sure.
And this feels like a years-long friendship after like 6 months.
Yeah, and there's a science podcast that talks about how like gossiping actually deepens your bond with people. So like we weren't saying anything bad about anybody. We're just like sharing pieces of information. Yeah. So it was very fun. And here we are 6 months later, 6 months strong. Actually, we're probably like 7 months now.
Yeah, no, because...
So
we started talking, I believe, not even 6 months.
We've been talking for so long, but we only
not even
met
6 months. I think we only met in like October. It was...
No, we met like first week of September.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
oopsie.
Oops. Because by October I already stole all your clothes to go to Saudi Arabia.
Oh yes.
So
I fully claim credit for her wardrobe.
If you haven't seen the vlog, it'll be up here. And all the outfits are actually from her closet.
From my closet.
But because we just have an overall good friendship, and it's one of the only female friendships I have where it feels like we don't compete for anything. And that's what we're mainly going to be talking about today, is because of the fact that I think a lot of female friendships intimidate people because of the fact that I need to prove I'm better than you in some way, or I'm prettier than you or something, and we're supposed to be almost mean girls pinned against each other.
Yes.
But we're really not.
We're really not. Because, I mean, I feel like there's almost this sort of, like, I know it's very competitive, but some people almost have this, like, weird superiority complex in their head. Like, what I am doing is the right way to be, like, a woman, a feminist, or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then anybody who makes different life choices is like, you know, they're inferior, they're not making the right choices.
Yeah.
And those who make the same choices as you, they're your competitors. You cannot make friends with them, because what if they beat you?
Yeah, and I think it's just like, it's so engraved in us too, because like you said, the way you grow up and maybe have differences with other women, like you're from India, I'm from Canada. We grew up so differently.
Very. And yet we're living the same life.
I know! We still have like pretty much all the same interests.
Yes, somehow.
But it's not like you said, I don't think of you any less of a woman or beautiful or kind just because you don't do things the exact same way I do things.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make you worse or better than me, and I don't ever want to put you in that position. But some other women, that's their idea of friendship, is, you know,
like, I feel like they don't have an idea of friendship. Like, there are some women who genuinely believe that women cannot be friends, because there's always like those girls who are like, oh, I only hang out with boys because like there's so much less drama. Like, really, you're taking a trade down.
And I think to the point too is you have to be mindful of that, you know, like we don't bring each other drama ever. I've never brought in like a oh, you piss me off, or even if you do something I don't like, I'll just be like, I don't like it. There's no reason to be, oh my god, no, yep.
No, we just have this like amount of trust in each other, right?
Yeah.
Like I know that like if I do something that you don't like, you will tell me and I will not be offended by that. And I trust you enough that you won't create drama like if I tell you something.
Or
you know?
even when we confide in each other, I know you're not going to go around saying things like, or if I'm sad one day, you're not going to go use that against me and be like, oh my god, Lana was so sad or so upset. We have no reason, and we're both mindful enough that we don't want to put that
each other in that spot. Like we want to uplift each other and just we want the best for each other.
And it's obviously hard to find those relationships and to be in that position, but that doesn't mean that you need to start treating other female friends in the other way, you know, being like, oh, I can only have other friends who are not as pretty as me, so I can be the prettiest in the room. Like, that's so dumb.
Yeah, and I feel like at that point you're not even looking for friendships. I feel like if you start defining your friendships like that, oh, you need to be like less pretty, this is the benchmark, you have to be below that, you have to be less smart, you're not really looking for friends, you're looking for weird minions. Like, I'm sorry, you're looking for minions, those are not friends. You're looking for followers, you're the female version of Voldemort. Ma'am.
Voldemort.
No, wasn't that like Voldemort's criteria? And like, it was not like a criteria, it was just fulfilled by default because he was like, you know, the heir of Slytherin. And like, inherently evil.
Totally. You're right. This is the situation. This is the situation. But it's just, that doesn't need to be the case. And you brought up the point that we don't really compete with each other. And I think we are like the epiphany of that because we both want to go to the same top university in Korea. And we both want to learn Korean, and we both have so many, like, we plan together our goals. Yeah, we have it in our calendar.
We have it in our calendar, like 10:30 a.m. planning with Lana.
Get a coffee. We do this. We like have tea nights.
Yeah.
And we plan our goals together.
We do, and there's no jealousy. We have so many common interests in, like, I feel like all spheres of life.
Yeah,
we have weirdly similar lives. Like we have the same past, we have the same kind of traumas, and we have the same kind of goals for our future.
Yeah, and even when we talk, just like, even if it's just in your bed and we're just talking about like, oh, I really want this, or this idea, like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool to have this? I never think, oh my god, you will never get that, Jasmine, in my head. I think like, I want the absolute best for you.
Because
I hope it happens, but like 10 times better than what you think.
Yeah, like we manifest for ourselves and for each other. Like even with language learning, the example you just brought up, initially you were gonna do Japanese, and I was gonna start with Korean in the beginning of the year, and then we were like, no, you know what, we'll do Korean. And you inspired me to want to learn. I mean, I wanted to learn Japanese for a while, but knowing that you were doing it too, I'm like, you know what, I'll have somebody who can help me out with it.
Yeah.
Just like a partner to go through it with me, because again, like with Spanish, you helped me out massively with Spanish. You saved my Spanish. Like I was failing that shit.
And here I was. But that's the idea, is like, I'm not gonna hide resources from you. I don't want to, you know, be like, oh, I know about this stuff and this stuff, but I can't let Yasmin know because Yasmin's gonna do like a better job than me at it. If you do a better job at me and you become like the best Korean speaker I've ever heard, and I'm like, shit, I don't care. At least I have you as my friend and someone to help me. And there's so much more gratitude that we spread with each other than anything else.
Like, I feel like this is so rare, like not hiding resources from each other.
Yeah.
And for us, like even because some people have this thing, like if you tell somebody, oh, that's cute, they like want to gatekeep where they got it from, and we tell each other, and half the time we have the same stuff, and we're like gushing about it.
We have the same Korean lip tint, and we realized that today. The daily lipstick we both
just pull it
we're
out. We're
wearing it now.
And we're like, oh, it's the same.
I was like, do you have number 25? Yeah. But it's just. And there was no like, oh no, I need to change my lipstick because Yasmin wears it. We're both like, it looks so cute on you. And just the constant vibe of reassurance between us.
Yeah.
Is you are the first to comment on my post. You comment on every single post. I comment on every single post of yours.
Yeah.
There's no jealousy, and it's like I will post 7 comments to bring your post to the top into everyone's pages because I want you to have the dream to share your life online.
Yeah.
And the same for me. And
which is like such a thing for me, because I've been meaning to make my account, like it's a private account right now, but I've been meaning to make it public for no reason, but like I just want more people to have access to like the happy moments in my life. And you're a content creator, you do this for a living. And you have been my biggest supporter and fan, just encouraging me like, Yasmin, go make it public.
Yeah, make it happen.
Make it happen. And like
Yes.
like making reels together and just going to the creativity center and
Yeah,
spending the day taking
photos of each other, or going, like, we went to a cafe once and she took me to like our favorite cafe ever, and the woman who owns the cafe we were leaving and she was like, I've never seen someone take so many photos in a cafe. We have zero embarrassment about like accomplishing our dreams and doing what we need to do to get there, whether it's like taking pictures of each other in front of like 20 people.
20 people, just like, or like go to a grocery store and stay there for 3 hours taking pictures and being weird.
I'm looking at every single product.
Actually, we went there to click pictures and do grocery at the same time. I don't think we got any pictures because we were having too much fun.
And I feel like that's what our friendship is. So then instead, you're coming over tonight, film my podcast. And she was actually, when I decided, I want more just friends on my podcast and people to have just like conversations with, you were the first person I asked immediately. There was nobody. I went asking after you said yes, because then I had like the confidence to start asking other people, even if they were going over check.
Yeah, no, and that happens to me all the time, because like if I'm doing something and I want encouragement for it, you're always like the first person I go to, and like I text you because I know that this is a place I'm gonna get reassurance and encouragement from.
Yeah, and if I think you have a bad idea, like I'll tell you have a bad idea, but it won't be like, oh, this is a bad idea if it's a good idea, and I won't tell you it's a bad idea and just leave it at that. Like I will tell you how to make it a good idea. And that's the idea that we base our friendship on. We're so cute.
We're cuties.
We're very cute. Yeah, my advice for other people trying to find what we have is the idea of like, you need to be mindful about it. Because I'm very mindful, not on what I say to you or what I do or don't say to you or when I want to be vulnerable. It's just mindful that I don't need to feel jealous of you, and I don't need to feel jealous of you. I don't need to be in a position where it's like, oh, I need to take Yasmin down in any way.
Exactly.
And even if there comes a day that you hurt my feelings, our friendship comes before everything else. And it's still like, obviously we're not girlfriend.
We're not.
we're not lesbian.
We're not.
But when you have a good girl relationship, you need to treat it like as if it's almost your boyfriend, because it's like,
Lana is my best boyfriend.
I am her best boyfriend. I pack her bag.
Yeah.
I paint her
cook
nails.
for her.
Yes, you do. But we take care of each other in all the different ways that we need to, and we consciously do it. Like, we're not just, we want to do it for each other, and we don't put like our other emotions before that. It's taking care of each other. It's being good to each other first.
And I think it just comes to us fairly naturally in this friendship in particular.
Yeah.
Because we have created such an environment for each other. Because again, like if we met in September and October, you were already like raiding my closet and taking half of it with you to Saudi. And I didn't mind that. Mm-hmm. And I looked at my outfits and all your posts and I'm like, I did that.
I did that.
I love that.
And no, you're totally right. It comes naturally, and if you're making friends with girls who that's not coming that naturally to, and it's not just second nature, and they don't want just authentic female friendships, those are the type of girls that like, they're just not on the same path as you yet. They're not ready to be your friend maybe, and you can find it someone else that's going to be more just natural with you.
Yeah.
And that is most important, because that's what we are, is just natural with each other.
We are. And like, I always, like, whenever we're together, I think I say the sentence at least once, and I'm like, oh my god, Lana, I'm so unhinged with you. Like, these conversations, like, because you have like a literal like section in your notes app where you have unhinged stuff that I've said.
I do. One time, I showed her a guy that I accidentally took a video of, and I was like, oh, he's not that bad. And she goes, he looks like he'd be hard to babysit.
They look hard to babysit.
She was not wrong. She was not wrong. We have high expectations. We have
Very.
And I feel like that's also something that I love.
We have helped each other go from unrealistic standards to unrealistic standards. We're enablers of the highest order.
We totally are. And I do feel like whatever relationships we get into, even with like other girls, it's like, if you would tell me some like drama that happened, immediately I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the sweetest part about each other, is the fact that it's not just about, you know, me creating my dream life, but it's also about you creating your dream life and doing it together. Because no matter what road it was, and even when we were talking about what university we were going to go on exchange with, and I mentioned like, I want to go to Korea, I already knew you were very interested in going, but it wasn't like, oh, I want to go to, what are you thinking? You want to apply to different ones because there's only limited spots? We were both like, we're getting in to our choice together. And
honestly, like, if I was to not get in and you were, I would be over the moon. I would be over the moon because there's going to be somebody I can give a shopping list to, and then she can bring it all back.
Totally. Yes. And there's just, it's even as simple, and one thing too that I want to point out, which I think is really important for us too, and this depends on like the girl and what friendship they have, but we're both very, very girly girls, which is also something that a lot of people could be scared of, is the fact that we will tie pink ribbons, we will
everywhere.
Make like little teas. We have tea right now
in a pink little heart cup that she lets me have. It's a pretty cup. She let me have it.
It's one of my favorites.
That's a big thing.
And then mine is also a little heart, and we're sitting on a heart bed cover with a bunch of hearts behind us and pillowcases that are pink and silk. And we had a whole night where we did s'mores, but heart-shaped s'mores
with like pink little marshmallows in the middle.
Yes.
And like hot chocolate.
And we were watching K-dramas. Yes. We do a lot of really, really feminine things together. And we make the argument, like, we will do even really, really feminine things in some of the most important moments of our life. When we're planning, when we're studying, when we're learning together, we're still doing very feminine things.
Our K-drama and s'mores night was, I believe, like just in the middle of or right before exams. Like, we need our time for girly things, and we do a lot of it together.
Yeah, because we're healing together. Like you said, we have a lot of the same trauma. We heal together, we work together, and we don't put each other ashamed for being really girly. And that's something that kind of needs to stop for everybody, is like, if that's what you like, then be proud of it.
Yeah.
And that is who we are, and that's what we love, and we'll read, and we read romance, and we do like all of these very typical girly things, but we're not afraid to be called girly girls.
We love being called girly girls. I refer to everybody as girly.
It's true. She texts me like 6 times a day going, girly, girly.
I call men girly. Everybody's my girly.
I love it, because that's just what we like. We have so much in common, but we can do so much together, just healing as women, doing very women things, and still like be on the grind and create our dream lives, but not be in a masculine energy and think that, oh, okay, we need to get our shit together and study. Like, no, we're like, let's go grab like red velvet cake, cheesecake, and then cute little coffees, and then we'll go study and wear pink outfits.
And like, let's go to Yum Bar, get like matchas, like pretty little matchas, like Polaroids, and just wear cute little sundresses. Like, you know me, I refuse to wear pants. I don't own jeans at all. I love to no pants. What's their purpose?
It's skirts.
Exactly.
Skirts are the it thing. Skirts and dresses.
Skirts and dresses. Why do you need to wear pants?
There's no excuse.
They cover your legs.
But yeah, so then if you had like other girls that you knew were kind of like, oh, I don't know how I feel about like, being friends with other girls and scared that, there's this kind of stigmatization of like, we have to be in competition and mean girls exist. What would you say to them?
Honestly, I would first of all feel so bad for them because like you're missing out on a huge thing. But I also like kind of understand where they're coming from, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like these are things that they've been told. Like nobody just like was born this with like it in their heads that, oh, like I'm a girl apparently, cannot talk to other girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I honestly am such a huge advocate for being very self-assured. Like
Yeah.
like before you go out and make not just female friendships but any friendships, because anybody can exploit you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be very sure of who you are. You have to sort of try to get over your insecurities, and once you're at least a little bit secure in yourself, you know who you are.
Yeah.
That is when you can actually make friendships. Because I mean, if I didn't know who I was, if I was very unsure of myself and changing today and tomorrow, I would not be a very good friend to you. And if I'm not being a good friend, you would not know how to be a good friend back.
Yeah, and I think that is just such an amazing piece of advice, because it's truly like you're supposed to come first before anyone else.
Yeah.
And if we both we are so, and we've been talking about it this whole time, we're so certain in what we love and what we like and who we want to be. And if we didn't have that basis, then
we wouldn't be great friends in that case.
No.
Like we both discovered who we are before we could discover who we are
together.
Yes.
So
we wouldn't be able to like be such good friends and help each other out and uplift each other if we had not uplifted ourselves first.
Yeah, and that's the sense of security you're talking about too, comes from you and I know we can make it and become who we want to be, and we will work towards getting there, and we will be happy with like what life throws us along the way. We're both very smiley, giggly, and because of those factors, then we can do it together. And it doesn't feel like a competition, because we want similar things in life, but there's room for everybody.
Exactly, yeah.
And becoming secure in yourself and secure in the idea that technically life is not a competition. Like nobody's telling you, hey, this person and this person go, like, or you don't get an opportunity and I get it. It's just being overjoyed for whoever does, and knowing that you're assured that something else will come your way.
Something else, like whatever is meant for you in life will not pass you by.
Yes.
Like I'm a very firm believer in that, and I feel like I heard that somewhere, but now I forgot it.
Yeah, like I know it's a quote from someone. I have no idea whose quote it is.
Idea.
No.
Like credits.
And I've been dreaming of doing a little episode like this, and it's so much better to have you do it with me than doing it by myself.
This is the first piece of content we thought about, even before like we decided on the podcast or whatever, that we were going to do a piece of content on female friendships. That's something we said the first time we met. Yeah,
and we keep sending each other we have like a saved reel section for like reels we want to make together, nights we want to spend together. And even if like not every night's about like accomplishing our dreams, it's just like healing each other, spending time together, and noticing how important we are to each other. Because you like, saved me last semester.
No, you as well, because we have so much fun together, and like more like it's not the like energetic thrilling kind of fun. Like it's like a weird relaxing thing. Like I relax around you and I have fun. Like I feel at peace. It's a therapy session.
Yeah, like, it's a podcast session.
It's a weekly therapy session.
Yeah, and we can talk about pretty much everything without feeling like there's something we shouldn't say to each other.
Yeah, like we say anything in front of each other.
Yeah, whether it's in the middle of our like Vips or in the safety of your bed taking a nap together at like midnight.
At midnight.
Going back out at 1 a.m. But that is just the friendship we have, and it's very special, and I understand other people don't find that as easy, but it's about patience. It's about finding yourself and taking care of yourself before you can start taking care of anybody else. And a lot of friendships will fail if the other person is not ready for that.
If the other person is not. And I think that's like why we became such good friends. Like for us, it wasn't like, oh, it just came so easy for us, because we were both, like, I feel, at about the same chapter in life,
Yeah.
at about the same level of reassurance, and we were like, oh, we're like together, we're in the same spot. And like, so every time we met, every time we spoke, we just sort of understood each other, and we saw no competition.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of friendships are ruined because people are at very, very different points in their life. They want very different things and expect very different things from their friends. For me and like for you, I feel like we had just one expectation coming into this friendship, that oh, like somebody who will be fun to hang out with once in a while, except that once in a while turned into
twice
each
a week
other's
at least.
social life.
Yeah, that's the answer. Is we're together very often, and I love it because it feels like we're sharing a life together and we're building a life together, and I don't have any fears when it comes to it.
Exactly. I have no competitive feelings. I have no like fears. Every time like we meet and you tell me that, oh, like I managed to do this, and I'm like, yes, girl.
Yes, exactly. Or you send me like anything you're interested in, I don't go like, oh yeah, like fangirling or anything like that. Like your interests are your interests, even if I don't share those same ones.
Yeah,
like
we can
I'm
talk
proud
about
of you
those.
for picking up skills like crocheting. Like I cannot, but I'm proud of you for it. So even though we don't have all the time like the same parallels, we already are grateful for everything that we do share together.
And like that's another thing, like we have so many common interests, but even the things that are not common interests, like for example, like I'm really into League of Legends.
Yeah.
And I remember when my team won the world championship, I remember like talking to you that, oh, this has happened, this is happening with my players.
Yes.
And you were like excited for me.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I was so hyped up.
She was showing me like all the pictures. I had no idea who these people were, and I was like, good for them. Yes. And you're the same for when I do presentations or I monitor panels, like anything that I do, you're just super like, good job, you're doing great, and there's no sense of, oh, like why don't I get that, or
why do I have to listen to this? Like, you know, we don't have that feeling, because for a lot of people, like a lot of friendships, it's almost like you're dismissive of the other person's interest that you do not share, which is not the case with us. I'm happy to listen to you. And
me too.
The same with you.
Yeah.
Which is important.
I think so too. And you are just such a lovely figure to have, and I'm so grateful for you. And that's just the way it needs to be for little friendships. Heart. And with that, I think this has been a good little therapy session. You know, I think we shared a lot about who we are and what our friendship is like, but I think there's a lot to learn just from that. And then, like you said, being self-assured. And if you have any of those, like, oh, I need to compete with other women, that is something you need to work on first. It's not you're going to find that in somebody else. You have to find it in yourself. And be confident, because that's the thing, is we are two very confident figures. We are certain that we can get whatever we want. We are who we are, and we like what we like, and because we're so confident, I think it makes us such better friends. And we're walking on the same phase of life. And be patient. People will come like that, and don't force it on anybody, because that's not what friendship is about. And do you have anything to add, Miss Yasmin?
What I have to add is not podcast appropriate.
And with that, thank you for coming to an episode of Burrowed Thoughts, and I will see you the next Sunday for another episode. Bye!